Today we're going to do a review on the Wilderness Guide 4.0 made by Tops Knives. As the name suggests, the blade length is 4 inches long and it's made for outdoor enthusiasts. So it's really cool that they made a knife specific to this sort of community because most of their knives are 1/4 inch thick, tactical oriented knives. Let's go over the specs. Overall length for this knife is 8 3/4 inches. The blade length is 4 1/4 inches. The blade is an 8 inch thick with 1095 high carbon alloy steel with the Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58, differential tempered. The width of the blade is 1.5 inches wide, which gives it a really nice shallow grind. It has black traction coating on the blade. Overall weight is 10.7 ounces. Without the sheath, it's 6.5 ounces. The handle is tan canvas micarta. Instead of using normal screws, this knife is using hollow brass rivets. Like most of their knives, they have a ballistic nylon sheath, MOLLE compatible on the back. The MOLLE webbing on the back of this is really nice because it's nice and wide, which means you can wear it horizontally on the belt. The vertical belt loop is large enough to accommodate a duty belt. What makes this sheath a little bit unique is the fact that it has a top cover. And so this is really nice if you want to just cover it up out of sight, or if you don't want it to be snagged on a bunch of brush if you're going through some thick terrain or some briars. It's removable, and on the inside you have one hook and loop closure. So even without the flap, you're still nice and secure. Pull it all the way out, it's not going to expose the blade, so that's a nice feature. It also has a very generous front pocket, so that's a really nice feature as well. It has just their standard quick closure, which is nice and quiet, so it's not like a big Velcro strap. Tops Knives included a few accessories that they thought were essential for people that are going a little bit deeper into the trails than the average person. They have a liquid-filled compass, which has degree gradients in it. They have a survival signal whistle. Included also is a signal mirror and 12 feet of fluorescent marking tape, a small carabiner, which is steel, so it's pretty strong, and a credit card sized Fresnel lens for starting fires or taking out slivers, taking the ticks off. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a few tests with this knife and show you guys what it's capable of doing, and also show you a few techniques of using a smaller knife to do bigger tasks. Alright, so we're going to chop through this log with the knife. And since the knife is really lightweight, it doesn't actually have too much power behind it when you're swinging it around. So we're gonna recruit the help of a baton. And that'll give us the weight and energy we need in order to chop through this thing. But this is really sharp, so should do pretty well. Yeah. That's a nice big piece of wood right there. Alright, so you can see the knife did pretty well at chopping through this log. It's really sharp, which helps out tremendously, and the fact that it's 1095 high carbon alloy steel, I'm not too worried about chipping an edge or even bending it, so it did pretty well. Alright, now that we cut that log, we're going to go ahead and try this out for batoning. It should do pretty good. You can't get too thick of logs just because of the limitations of the blade length, but forearm size logs should be no problem. Alright, as you can see, the knife did pretty good at splitting this cedar, and with the help of a baton, yeah, it's no problem. The shorter blade does limit how big of a log you can process, but not a big deal. Right now we're going to go ahead and try out making a feather stick with the Wilderness Guide, and this thing is razor sharp, so it shouldn't be any problem to make this. As you can see, the Wilderness Guide did pretty good at doing this. It's shallow grind and a razor sharp edge, which probably has something to do with it. Alright, so overall, I would have to say I'm in love with this knife. Probably give it a 9.9 out of 10. The only reason why I'm giving it a 9.9 and not a full 10 is because I'm missing the little dimple that they have in a lot of their knives for making a fire spindle socket. That's really the only gripe I have with it. The sheath is great, the blade design is awesome, the handle is super comfortable and very grippy. The added accessories I think add to the value of the knife as well. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have a chance to look at one of these, try it out, by all means do so. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Feel free to comment, like the video, subscribe if you want. We have a lot more coming.